So,
That's very interesting.
welcome everyone. Sorry, Christelle and Debbie, that you're not here eating with us. We have a skeleton crew tonight, and actually that's better for you guys because we're doing an intense exercise. So I am actually going to take a picture. Let me take a picture of you guys and the food, and we're going to have some minestrone soup tonight. And I'm just going to send Christelle and Debbie a picture of the food.
Yeah.
So, and I'll send you guys the picture of the food a little bit later.
Okay.
What you need to know about what you're eating? Remember, we put vegetables in everything, Organic vegetables
Except
go.
smoothies with fruit.
Yeah.
No, the vegetables in those for sure.
Yeah.
So this is just some greens. I put some different color carrots on the salad, some fennel, great for digestion,
Excellent.
and then I added some cashews for a little protein. We are having some crackers, rice crackers.
Okay.
They're just rice rolled out, like I explained to you guys a minute ago. I don't know if the ladies on the phone heard it. Super duper easy. It didn't take very long to make these. And then on the table in the center, I did put some edamame on the salad. I bought it. It's in a package. It's frozen. And Carol, I loved it. You're like, no, I bought this frozen stuff.
So ready for that soup.
And it got, you have got to put things, frozen vegetables just don't last in the refrigerator, unfortunately. So you got to throw it in. But did you guys like the video?
Yes, thank you.
It makes it really easy. Did you watch the video of the butternut squash?
It did inspire me, and I
I'm
ended
going
up
to though.
using carrots.
Okay.
Used your video, but I had carrots, so.
I think it's perfect. We have to improvise with whatever we have. And, it's about making it easy. So tonight and then what you're looking at is there's some bitchin sauce. I told you guys about it 2 weeks ago. It's called bitchin sauce, and it's this yummy, nutty sauce. We have the top. Here, I'll pass this to you.
What a name, huh?
It's bitchin, and it's a nut spread. So it's totally organic, really good, clean ingredients, and it's bitchin, right?
And it's a salad.
You can put it on. You can put it on the salad. So what I have in the center is some more crackers and some flaxseed. I love grinding up flaxseed and sprinkling it on my food. If anyone is estrogen has challenges with your estrogen levels, 4 tablespoons of flax seeds a day will really balance those out. There's something I'm going to talk to you guys about. Is a seed rotation for have you heard of the seed rotation?
No, but
It balances your hormones naturally, but flax seeds will do that. It's with flax and sesame because you need those phytonutrients. And so you can sprinkle the flax on your salad. It's in the white bowl. And then I made some cauliflower, my favorite. I had cauliflower mashed potatoes for lunch, and usually I eat the whole head. I just steam the whole head and I blend it. Yeah, just as much as you want. Yeah.
And this is what?
This is flax seeds, ground flax seeds. You just have to keep them in the refrigerator so they don't go
I
rancid.
think I put too much on it.
No, you
But you
can
said
never have too much.
I'm like,
You can never have too much.
Yeah,
You can
okay.
never have too much. There's some extra dressing there. Your
Okay.
dressing for the salad tonight is a little, I used organic avocado oil. I just wanted a little
Is this
change. A tiny bit of honey. You already have some dressing on it, so you might not want to. It's just a little extra. And then I used a little bit of
Thank you.
avocado
Avocado oil.
oil.
Honey.
It has a little bit of honey, and then I used a little bit of I used a little bit of, it's a vinegar, and it'll come to me. It's a vinegar that helps clean you out and
Apple
detox.
cider?
You won't know this vinegar, so let me grab it, and I'll show it to you. It's called Umi Plum Vinegar, and I'm sure you guys have you ever heard of it?
I have, but I think from here. I think you
Yeah, we did. We made our bok choy with Umi Plum Vinegar.
Because I had never heard of it.
So this is Umi Plum Vinegar, and it is the best detoxification. You can actually buy Umi plums in their whole version. And they're such great detoxifiers. They work for like to cure hangovers and things like that, but they're great detoxifiers. So I'll pass this around.
So better than the apple cider.
I think it's better than,
Yeah.
the apple cider does something different. The
Oh,
apple
okay.
cider helps to build your pH.
Uh-huh.
But I'm gonna pass around a little soup. My husband and I went to an Italian restaurant this week, and I couldn't eat much on the menu, you can imagine. And so they had a delicious minestrone soup,
Yeah.
but very identical to this.
Okay.
This minestrone soup is zucchini, and you guys will all get the video on how to make it. Zucchini, red potatoes, carrots, and it's all just in a vegetable broth. And I put peas in because our estrogen levels
Peas.
need peas to balance your estrogen.
What kind of peas?
Oh, and a lot of spinach. They're just green peas, so I'll show you.
Oh,
And they're frozen, organic green peas.
I can do this.
Yeah, like super simple. And I used a box spinach. I left this stuff out so you guys could see baby spinach,
Okay.
box baby spinach. And you'll have the recipe and you're gonna have the video. I used 2 boxes of Pacific vegetable broth. You want to use a vegetable broth that's organic and that doesn't have any cane sugar in it. You'll notice when you start looking at these, a lot of these have cane sugar. And it's like, what? And then, oh my gosh, I found this. This is organic peeled garlic. I got it at Whole Foods. I used it in the butternut squash, but it comes in little packs like this.
How long does that last?
I don't know. I've had it for about 2
Because
weeks.
So the
that would make it
But see,
easier.
I'll pass
The
this around.
expiration date check is written on there usually.
It should be.
But once you open
You guys-
one little
Yeah.
packet, so
Yeah.
the expiration date is usually pretty true, but your little packet that you open, which has like 10 garlics in it,
December 5th.
yeah. But
Okay.
but if she opens one packet, it won't, just one thing, once it's open, because it's sealed, it
Yeah.
won't last till
It
December.
won't last. But the other thing you could do is freeze them.
Oh,
You can freeze them
I'll
and
do
then you
that.
have all that garlic.
because
And-
that peeling is a booger.
It is. And in the stores, especially at Safeway, you'll find tubes of garlic, and you think that's just garlic. It's healthy. Read the ingredients. It usually has sugar in it, preservatives, all kinds of crap. This doesn't have any of it. It's just organic
I don't
garlic.
think the Trader Joe's ones is not organic. I don't think.
Oh, they're not? I don't know.
But I don't
Yeah.
remember
Take a
it
picture
being
of that.
organic. So this is
So, and then I
With
just
you.
put a little oregano and I put some sage. Sage is great for our hormones. You know, like the clary sage, essential oils. And I put some basil. And I like to use these little
Oh,
boxes.
pass that around. I've never seen those packet
They-
things you were talking
The
about.
what? The little
You're talking about
boxes?
packets or something?
Yeah, they have them at Whole Foods. They're
Yeah.
like
Rather
$2.99.
than the fresh ones.
I love fresh herbs.
The fresh basil, it doesn't keep.
It
Yeah.
doesn't. But if I buy like an oregano like this in a big jar, I use a lot of herbs, but a lot of other people don't. And if you don't, you're gonna have this for 10 years. So I like buying the little ones, and then you just can have one-time use. It makes sense. And then they're a lot fresher too.
So this is a one-time use pack, the whole
No,
boxes, or there's a bunch of
actually-
them in there?
You know, it's about 4 tablespoons.
Okay.
So depending on how you like to season your food, right?
So there's 4 different packets.
My question.
No, there's
Oh,
only
one
one packet.
packet?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just cut them open.
I see.
And then I just sprinkle it, but I use herbs
So
all
that's
the
not
time.
fresh basil.
That's not fresh.
Love fresh
I
basil.
love fresh basil.
But it
and-
doesn't keep.
It doesn't keep, but you can grow it.
Okay.
You can grow
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I grow it, but
Uh-huh. So, notice the theme here. There's
I grow it and I
vegetables.
buy it too.
Yes, there's vegetables in everything. So, we miss everyone that's not here, and you guys are really in for a treat. Not only
Good.
are you getting to, you want some salt? Yes. There you go, honey. Not only are you getting to eat the food that's here in person, live, tonight is really intense.
Okay.
Tonight is super intense. It is really looking at our feelings
Okay.
and the reasons why we eat the way we eat. And so, actually, this is new curriculum. You've never experienced it,
Oh,
Marjorie.
wow.
I pulled in some new curriculum because I really saw the power of this after I did some of these exercises. And I think it's really important. So I brought some new curriculum in instead of just doing the rote that we normally do. So let's start with our shares. How did you guys, I want to know how you liked having an integration week. And I want to reiterate again why I do an integration week. The reason why I do an integration week is it's not my intention to just throw a bunch of tools at you. And I think sometimes when we get in a group or even when we go to a retreat, what happens is we get addicted to the group, we get addicted to the retreat. Not that I don't want you guys to come back forever, but you start relying on the group to do the work. And it's about going inside, really relying on yourself and developing more your intuitive voice to really get clear on what you need and what you want for your life and what's important. And I don't want this group to be self-help. I want it to be self-help so we can really meet our goals and get from where we are to where we want to be. So
What's shelf help?
it's like, okay, so sometimes if you've bought an online program, you are really good at doing online programs. I've heard of the online programs that you do.
Yeah.
But often, people buy an online program, they do the first couple modules, and then what happens is, life takes over.
And they just.
And that module stays in their inbox for another, 3 years, and you've never done it. And you paid a lot of money for this, and I just don't want that to happen. Debbie, you told me your experience about your programs you've bought that have kind of stayed dormant. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah. Almost everything I bought before.
Huh.
Yeah.
I bought the
Surprised.
detoxes. Mostly that. Detoxes. I've done some, what else did I do? Yeah, like Brene Brown has the Courage workshop. I'm sure it was great online, but I didn't do it.
Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it was. I had good sessions and I did part of it, and then I got busy.
we get busy, and then we have like power charging students like Carol who just do all the work. But the majority of the programs that we buy online shelf help become shelf help,
Okay.
or we forget about them after a while. And I want these tools to be things that last you for life. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's why we're here eating in person. But I want to congratulate you. 90% of the work is showing up. 90% of the work is showing up. And then of course you have to dive into it. And it's, you start getting it after a while. It's happened with you, Marjorie. In the beginning you weren't so invested, and now you're really getting more and more invested in the program because you've come, you hear it over and over. And that's the way our brain works. Our brains, it takes a long time for our brains, even though we get this information, we go through the programs, our brains have those old behaviors, and we've done limiting belief things, we've worked on fears, we've worked on love, and now we're gonna look at what feelings we are hiding out with. But before we jump into that, I want to know how integration week was for you. And Carol went to a great spa, so I want to know a little bit about your spa experience, what you integrated, what you did, and then with a small group like this, we can really share a little bit longer. So I want to know what your why is. Come back to your why, because it's so important. So what of the play work, and I'll just remind all of you, one thing on your nourishment list, meditating on your ideal body, on your ideal life, reframing the negative statements into love, creating a loving morning or evening ritual, doing the mirror work, and I think you missed that, but we all have our own specific goals.
Amazing, yeah.
And how did that's really important that we go through what, that you were accountable to the group. So, Marjorie, you want to go first and tell us a little bit about how the integration week worked for you?
First of all, explain integration week.
So you just get a week
I've
off.
been 2 weeks
Oh, that's right, okay, so you got a week off. Yeah, but and that's why we listened to the recording, but I don't think your
I don't
family
think I
or
was
your
able to do
family.
anything.
Yeah, so you were just a little full.
Overwhelmed.
A little full, yes, with your new, with your new
daughter-in-law.
yes,
Oh,
exactly.
And she doesn't
Oh,
speak English.
Oh my goodness, I heard. Yeah.
It's a challenge, but it sounds like you really worked through it well.
I worked through it and
Yeah,
Wow.
and what you did
Cool.
tell me was they wanted to go to Burger King all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Oh.
were able to stay with your other daughter and stay on track and
yeah, 'cause
not.
Burger King doesn't interest me. Period.
So glad.
Wow, that's
You know
amazing.
what's interesting about fast food? I don't
Hmm.
know if any of you have eaten fast food in the past,
In the past.
but
That's why.
In and
what
out.
if you look on the fast food websites and you look at their ingredient list, like for example, Taco Bell,
Mhm.
it's not even hardly real meat.
Yeah.
Hi there. It's not, no, it's like a tiny bit of meat and the rest is all fillers and preservatives.
Oh, really?
It tastes
Well,
really
no
good.
surprise.
I used to love Taco Bell, and I thought I was
Yeah.
doing myself a
Well, it's on
favor.
Weight Watchers, 5-point burrito, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I could, have a little burrito with some meat in it, and I was doing really
Right,
good.
Right,
But you're getting all those chemicals in your body.
yeah.
And what do chemicals hold on to? Toxins hold on to chemicals, hold on to fat. So the more chemicals you eat, the more
I
fat
never
cells you
thought
make.
about that.
Oh, it is. So fat doesn't want to,
Okay.
when you're, when you're eating toxins, you would think your body would just urinate or poop them out, right?
Right.
Well, your body doesn't.
It's sitting in our
Your
tissues.
body wants to protect you. So it sits in your fat cells.
Right.
But
Yeah.
when we get too many fat cells,
Could I get the pigeon sauce?
It's amazing.
I know.
You know it?
when we get too many fat cells,
Pop, it's the best.
yes, it's really, really good. In our body, and they're full of all these toxins, what does our body do? It has to, it accommodates you.
Okay.
Do you know what it does?
Mm-mm.
It makes more fat cells because it needs more storage. Just like if you filled up your office files, you'd probably go out and buy some new file cabinets, or you might, if you're efficient, clean out all those files. But going out and buying your body actually goes out and buys a new storage cabinet by making more fat cells for you. Lovely, right?
What does
Good,
a toxin
good thought.
look like?
Well, toxins are all different shapes, different forms, so to answer that question, we could be here all night.
Oh, okay.
But,
We don't want to.
chemicals, preservatives in all different forms, phytoestrogens, and like a big one is in the lotions, the creams that we use, the shampoos. We think they're harmless, beauty products. But so many of those, they are hormone and endocrine disruptors. So they'll disrupt everything in your body. Yeah. So, Marjorie, you read to me when you came in your why. Can you tell us what your why is and why it's so important?
Oh, good.
Why is your why so important?
It's important because I want to feel differently than I felt the last 10 years. I want to feel more vibrant, energy. I said my outcome is to be the best that I can be in my health, my attitude, more positivity, loving myself more so that I can project that love onto anyone that I come in contact with. And I just think that feeling of, it's such a sense of freedom.
It is a sense of freedom. So this is a beautiful why. I love it, love it, love it. But let's just take a moment. Usually we don't look at the negative in here. Let's just take a
Did I
moment.
put some negative?
No, you didn't. You did great.
Oh, okay.
But really looking at what might happen if you keep on the trajectory that you were on before, and you just kept going forward with it. Look at why is this important now? Because what might happen to you if you didn't start on the healthy pattern and thinking differently.
Okay, my whole thinking at 73 is a lot different than at 33. At 33, 43, you look at it like, oh, I've got time. But in telling myself that I have all this time, one day I woke up and it's, when did all this happen? I didn't notice when it was happening that I can hardly walk, the stiffness that's in my body. And so now that I know how to do things differently, this time next year, I don't want to be in the same seat.
What would happen if you were?
That's a hopeless thought to me.
That's a hopeless thought. So that's what I want you to remember when you get a little bit better and we forget where we were. So your why is really, really important because it keeps us motivated. I want you to post that somewhere and read it every day, along with the mirror work, along with the play work is so important. It's really about the mental. It's about the mental. And it was fun. I watched, actually yesterday morning when I was preparing curriculum for you guys, I was watching a YouTube and I was looking at mental, and it was funny. There was a guy on there and I can't remember his name. He gained on purpose, he was a personal trainer, 75 pounds so he could fit in and be in his client's shoes. And he said he was blown away. He thought it was just eating, calories in, calories out. And he had difficulty releasing that weight because it was a mental thing. And so, really interesting. So Marjorie, what have you done? The one thing maybe you don't know these because you weren't here. We made nourishment lists. So do one thing on your nourishment list, and everybody else listen up because I'm repeating. Meditating on the frame of your ideal body and your ideal life. Reframing negative statements into love. Creating a loving morning or evening routine for your amazingly awesome day. Just prepping your day. Doing the mirror work, and were you able to practice any of those? And if not, which one would you like to start with this week?
I would like to send love, stop snapping at my husband.
I love that.
Frustration.
How would you make that work? It's easy to say it.
It's easy to say, but I think he's going through something where, and it concerns me. I don't want to say worry because you'll cross that off. Well, for instance, it's, have you seen my wallet? And we're looking all over for the wallet. And all I'm thinking about is our life is in that wallet. You're jeopardizing me.
Yeah, that's security.
And so I end up snapping after a bit because it's almost every day now. It's, have you seen my glasses? Have you seen my this? And I just don't want our memories to just leave us like that. So in my showing frustration and impatience towards him when this is happening is not helping him. It's frustrating him.
Yeah.
And he's not doing it on purpose. So I gotta do better.
That's so beautiful, more compassion. So we also have to do better there, and then it comes back to us. So that's beautiful, great, thank you. So let's go to one of the ladies on the phone. Debbie, can you share a little bit about your why and what thing on the playlist were you able to accomplish last week?
My why is that I want to be able to feel better, to not be bothered. To have energy, to feel joy and content. And spend some time every morning like this most mornings, doing my morning routine, or starting my morning routine, which was imagining
how was that for you?
Work.
It was
That's Cooper.
uncomfortable.
There you go.
Uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable.
Mine wants to.
Can you, we're having trouble hearing you a little bit. Can you just get a little louder? Thanks.
Not better.
That's better,
Salty
thanks.
girls.
Yeah, I like
I want some.
Me too. I'm a salty girl.
My mind, I feel resistance in my body when I say the positive things.
You feel what in your body when you say the positive things?
Resistance,
Absolutely, there's tons of resistance.
yeah.
You feel resistance in your body. So what are you doing to counter that?
Just trying to push through. I mean, that's probably not the right word. Just continuing to do it and not focus on the resistance, focus on, no, it is possible. I am doing this every day, positive self-talk, I guess, and visualization.
That's beautiful.
You're kind of accepting the resistance, but not letting it stop me.
So accepting the resistance but not letting it stop you. What I hear in that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but okay, not letting it stop me is more like pushing through. How could you provide a lot more compassion for yourself and say, wow, this is uncomfortable and I love me and I'm just gonna keep doing it because I know it can work. Does that feel better?
Yeah.
So that didn't sound very convincing. Now you sound like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. It feels uncomfortable. But yeah,
Well, and sometimes
I know it is uncomfortable. It's changing things, so.
yeah, change is super uncomfortable. And it's just about being consistent. So we're gonna hold you to it. Will you guys help her become accountable to living in that discomfort and just moving through? Because eventually it becomes habit. And then you create new habits and it gets better and better. Anything else, Debbie? Maybe she went back on
Did we
mute.
lose her?
I think she may have gone back on mute. Who wants?
I did it with my cheek.
Oh, got it. Anything else you'd like to share? Oh, maybe she went back on mute. So,
No.
okay, great. So who wants to go next? Christelle?
I'll go.
Okay, Carol's gonna go.
Okay, so first thing was why I'm in the group, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Or your why? You're like
my
personal.
why. So I have a new chapter in my life. Both of my kids are in college now, and I'm living alone for the first time in 25 years. Wow, it's kind of scary, Nobody to, you'd be surprised myself how much I miss doing laundry. Like, just give me some laundry to do. I just need
I'll
a
bring you
purpose.
some.
I know, that's what I was gonna say.
And I'm also, as Catherine mentioned, I'm doing a lot of work, and so one of the things I'm doing, I'm working on these 8 pillars, and then you do this vision board with 8 vertical columns, and this one's great, spirituality. Friends and family, that was it was low, but it was really easy to get right back, and, work, great. And then there's health and wellness. And I'm like, that pillar has never done well. I mean, maybe 6 months in my whole life did I really feel comfortable in my body. And so also, as Marjorie mentioned, I'm really into yoga, and my yoga is limited because I have serious arthritis going on. So lots of reasons that I talked to somebody and said I really need help, and they're like, well, go to a nutrition coach. So then I Googled and I found you and someone else, and I liked you much better, and here I am. So it's losing weight, but it's more than that. It's really I just want to feel comfortable in my own body, and I'm not. I mean, it's better since I've started eating well, and I have had weeks where I felt amazing when I really followed the plan. Like I wake up refreshed, and I don't have to take my Ambien to go to sleep, and you know, and I'm really doing everything right. I feel really good, but darn, if
You
I
look
just keep
amazing.
slipping, just like I think yesterday, you know, and you know, it's just I need to remember and stay on track.
Well, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight, because it isn't about remembering to stay
Yeah.
on track. It's about making it a habit, making it natural. And we'll talk about why. Because Kristen asked, and it was so good. You said, so what else can I do so I don't overeat? And you asked, you know, I know it's putting more greens on my plate. And I started thinking about it, and I was going to type you guys out this huge list of things you can do, and we'll still get that list, okay? But I started thinking it's so much more important to really finally feel full. Because if you feel full, complete, and fabulous, you don't slip. You're doing fun, joyful exercises instead of eating that extra food on your plate. There's always something underneath it. So,
You know what I've found out since I've been eating like this? Not only does it fill me, but I'm satisfied. As opposed to the old way of spaghetti and all the garlic bread I could eat.
yeah, and you know, okay, so let me address that because that's a really good point. You're satisfied. The reason why that happens is because your body's getting nutrition. And your gut, your stomach, all of your organs are going, okay, now we're full. We think of a meal of spaghetti and meatballs. There really isn't a lot of nutrition in it, and it's a lot of glucose and starch. And so your body's going, I guess the stomach feels full, but I'm not getting what I need, so I'm still hungry. So you want to eat more bread. And you know, then you just go in that vicious cycle, and then your insulin spikes, your insulin crashes, and then we get insulin resistance. And for anyone that hasn't watched the video on insulin resistance, I would highly recommend it. And there were 2 suggestions that I made in it. One is intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting can be a lot easier than you think. Just eat every 4 hours only, and stop eating 3 hours before you go to bed. So there's 12 hours between the time. That's the easy way to intermittent fast. But you know what? There's so many hard ways, and there's so much out there. I'm just giving you the what do you call those? The crib notes.
Yeah.
Cliff notes. That's it. Yeah. I did go to college.
Been a while.
But really, that's what I would suggest you get started with. And what happens is your body is not working on digesting all the time, so it's actually healing you. Your organs are having a chance to heal because you're not eating all the time. And some people do better to eat every 2 hours, but I really have never seen anyone. I've seen it through nutritionists, but really, my rule, eat when you're hungry and quit when you're full, unless you have estrogen imbalances, because when we have estrogen imbalances, we're hungry all the time. So, yeah, it's one of the symptoms of low estrogen is you want to eat all the time, and you're hangry and you want to eat your arm. So, yeah. And yeah. But the other thing that was in there was talking about food combining. And if anyone wants to know more about that or do a session on it, we can. But the basics of food combining are you don't eat starch with protein, so no meat and potatoes. You always eat vegetables with protein, starch with protein, that includes starchy vegetables, and you eat fruit by itself. And the reason for that is transit time. Fruit digests so much faster, and so what I'll meat meal, and the fruit comes into your gut, and it just has to sit there because it's digesting so fast, and it ferments, and you create a lot more sugar in your body, and the sugar turns to fat.
What was the starch rule again?
So when you're eating starch, you only eat with vegetables, never with protein. And you only eat protein with vegetables.
So if
And
you're a
then-
vegetarian and you're eating quinoa and vegetables and you want to put on nuts.
You can't.
Okay.
Yeah. You can't.
Wow.
So it's very
Yeah,
restrictive.
Yeah.
I like my rules better. Not rules.
Yeah.
Let's just call them steps. What do you call them?
Guidelines.
Guidelines, exactly. It's a lot softer, right? You know, eat when you're hungry, quit when you're full, breathe before you eat, say prayers. We didn't do that today. Just thank your food. And I this one I learned the other day to say I love you. I love my food and my food loves me before you eat. And you got get that in your head. I love my food and my food loves me.
Thank you.
It's just kind of a great way to reinforce that this food is going to nourish you.
Okay.
I love my food and my food loves me.
Okay.
Like that. Carol, you went to a cleanse. Do you want to tell everybody about it? Just a little brief.
Sure. So I'm on a podcast called This Is 50, even though I'm almost 60, but still. They motivated me to go to We Care Spa because the ladies that run the podcast love it and they're always talking about it. And while I've been eating healthy here, I haven't really lost weight. But by the way, I figured out why. I just need to put it up when I'm at a 7. So I'm going to do something really amazing and put my soup up because I'm full. But I really want to eat this. It's kind of a struggle, but I'm going to just say it, put it right out there. I'm full.
Beautiful.
I'm probably an 8 right now.
Yeah.
So buy soup. Love
Buy
my
soup. Yeah.
But so this, what it was is a total juice fast for 6 days. And I mean, serious stuff. It was, they said it was 350 calories a day, but I
Wow.
think it was more, but it was like drinking psyllium husk.
Okay.
Which is
I've done that before.
Yeah, and then you chase it with aloe and apple juice. And it's kind of a cool place. There's a kitchen like this, and it's a self-serve, and you have so all the people come together. There's like 20. It's like this intimate desert retreat.
Okay.
And everyone hangs out, and they're all down in their psyllium husk, and then in between this, you do yoga, meditation, lots of, I was mentioning serious nutrition, like way over the top, but that's okay because I know how to pick and choose.
Right.
And it was good. And it's not that I learned any new skills. I think that you do. I've got new skills from you for sure. But I just took off a few pounds, and I needed that. And it's one of those things that you're looking at your stomachs. That's where I carried it in the mirror, and like I saw it shrink every day. Like,
Beautiful.
you know,
It gives you a jump start.
gives me a jump
Yeah,
start. And I
exactly.
fully realized that in 6 days, how many pounds can you really lose? Although honestly, it was going down about 1.5 pounds a day.
I'm sure. And
Yeah.
it's a revamp.
It's a revamp.
And
It's a
when you
reboot.
do a revamp, you feel better about yourself. Yeah. And so good for you. You know that you
So
made
feel
the
better.
time, the effort, you spent the money
Yeah.
to do it, and you're feeling
Yeah.
better. And the goal would be
And
to
I'm a
sustain
faster.
that.
I mean, I like to fast, so I'll continue that. They recommend 1 day a week, and then every season, which is also a Deepak Chopra thing. Every season
Right.
you fast for 3 days. But anyway, the one thing I wanted to say so there's one thing I've been working on before I came to this group, during this group, and at the We Care Spa. And I think I've been doing a pretty good job lately, and it's my morning ritual. And I have to say, when I do my morning ritual, I'm not tired at the end of the day. It's weird, you know. It's like I work goes by like that, and I'm not tired. And
beautiful.
it's a problem I have that I'm really tired at the end of the day because I commute all the way to Sunnyvale,
Oh,
and I have a
yeah.
crazy busy day. But
To where?
Sunnyvale, I know,
wow.
from Livermore.
Crazy. Yeah.
That's another story, you know. But my morning
Story in
ritual
itself.
is basically a variety of different tweaks on yoga meditation. And I have some back issues. And when I do my yoga and I do my meditation, I am just in a really good spot with food, with people don't frustrate me. The people who trigger me all the time, they don't even trigger me, you know?
Don't
So-
you love it? We feed ourselves,
Yeah.
and then things just don't bother us.
Yeah. So working. So
awesome.
hopefully I can hang on to that.
Nice.
Because so far so good.
You know, one thing I do, because the computer, it's not my favorite thing. This is my favorite thing to do. So I always put my chores, my tasks, whatever I have for the day. I spend about 3 minutes in the morning, and I write universe on one side. I have 2 columns. and me on the other. So me is here, universe is here. And I put everything I need to do, because we all make to-do lists, right? And on the other side, I have universe, so the universe, and I write with ease, grace, and love. Ease, grace, and love. So I ask whatever this creator is to make this easy,
Yeah.
to make it creative
Yeah.
with grace. And my day goes so much better. I don't know if it's just a mental thing
Yeah.
or if there's really someone out there looking over me. Well, I believe that, but you don't have to. And it's fun. I just make that connection. And when I do that, everything goes better. So good for you.
Yeah,
That's
so-
awesome.
See if I'm still
Yes.
doing it by next week.
No.
I'll try.
I am.
Oh, yes.
I
I
am.
am a new person now that I have my morning ritual.
I am continuing my morning ritual for the rest of my life.
Oh, I'm gonna write that one down.
There is
because it
a
just cements it.
affirmation. Because
Okay.
we tell ourselves, gosh, maybe I won't be doing it next week, but it just isn't true. You can
Yeah.
continue with this, and the group will hold you accountable.
All right, very good.
Yes. So Christelle or Kristen, which one of you wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay, great.
My why for being here, starting with that. So a lot of what Madri had to say, I'm like, yep, that's a lot of why I'm here too. I want to feel better. I'd been feeling so tired and cranky, and I was starting to physically hurt and my back and everything. Just, I was feeling older than I am and just kind of in a bad headspace, and I was eating off my kids' plates, which I'm like, I should be cooking you healthier food because what I'm eating is crap too, and just was like, had like so much anxiety and just, anyway, so I was like, I think a lot of what I'm dealing with could be fixed by feeding into myself better, so starting with food, and that kind of then changing my brain. So having that mind-body connection, and I'm really hard on myself, and I make myself feel guilty for things that I shouldn't. And so I would feel like every choice I made, like, oh, well, I ate that again, or like, didn't go to that workout class I should have, and X, Y, and Z, and everything was just like mounting up to so much stress, self-imposed. So I just needed something big to stop my own snowballing, because I'm my own worst enemy a lot of the times.
Yeah. What if you weren't your own worst enemy?
That's what I'm working on. I mean, it would be very freeing. There would be a lot of freedom that would come out of that.
And time.
Time. Yeah.
Time
and
to
so,
think better thoughts,
yeah,
right?
and so then that leads into the things I've been working on this last week. One of them is that's been very helpful, is reframing for me. Just switching my, and I haven't always been cynical, but the last couple of years I've turned into more of a cynical naysayer. And so just reminding myself of how to think of something more positively, or I used your idea of like asking for more time to get the tasks done that I needed to get done, and it actually happened.
How did it go?
What did we great?
It's weird, isn't it?
It's
but
bizarre.
There's something that
Yeah.
opens up. I call it creator of all that is.
Yeah, seriously,
Yeah.
no,
Uh-huh.
it's been working, and so like and I resist change. I don't like it. It's very uncomfortable. I'm always been the type of person who's just cool to be who I am, and like I don't feel a big need for personal growth or development, which is actually a big contention point with my husband and I, because he is always wanting to evolve and change and grow and become better, whatever that means. And I'm like, I'm fine. Like, I'm genuinely fine, but then maybe I'm really not. And there's a certain element of that that I need to explore and would like to explore for myself, but it doesn't need to look like his does. And so that's, and it shouldn't. And so that's something I'm exploring more, especially now that my kiddos are getting a little older and I'm returning more to whoever I'm supposed to be right now. I'm kind of regaining a sense of self.
Nice.
And trying to just be more physically comfortable, mentally comfortable, taking myself, who used to work and now I'm at home. A lot of the structure that I had at work, I've not been able to translate into my stay-at-home momness, and that's very frustrating. And so anyway, I feel like a lot of this is just kind of giving me my brain back, to not have so much fog and not be so paralyzed, frankly. I'm doing things again.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You're doing things again.
Yeah, no, it's,
And
yeah.
taking care of you. And it's so funny because we get so stuck in our comfort zone.
Yeah.
And when we get stuck in our comfort zone, of course there's nothing wrong with us.
Yeah.
And there isn't.
Right.
It's so, think of your computer. When your computer needs an upgrade, is it broken?
No,
It's not broken, right?
it could be better.
It just
Yeah.
needs, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We are perfect and divine exactly the way we are, but we're just upgrading ourselves. And when you look at it that way, it's a great reframe because there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
We all are perfect and divine, so I love it. Thank you. Great. Good job.
Well, I'm impressed you're doing it while your kids are so young. Because
I know.
I never gave myself that time, so
Yeah.
good for you.
Good for you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
It's about
Your
giving
kids
yourself
will
the time.
benefit
You
from
have
that.
to. I used to get sitters all the time and go rollerblade. But my husband was very sick too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I knew if I didn't do that,
Yeah.
I would be just crazy
Crazy.
woman. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Hey, Christelle, last but certainly not least, are you ready to tell us what's going on with you?
I am, thank you. I love what you just said, because it kind of ties into what I've been working on in the last 2 weeks. As far as treating myself and looking at myself the way that my higher power does. I related to what Kristen said as well in the regard of, I also, my whole life, I've been my own worst enemy. And so treating myself with any kind of love and kindness is a real challenge. And this week I've been working on that. Is I implemented, I read 2 really strong meditations in the morning that I get via email, which helps because I'm kind of forced to read them because they're in my inbox. And that's a practice I do first thing in the morning is I check my email. And the meditations have a really good way of framing my day in a positive light. And it's been helping carrying that message through the day of living that day kind of like as a prayer or with the intention of love. Approaching everything with love and kindness and not from fear and anxiety. And that's been really helpful. The other thing that I was doing was on my nourishment list is I had spending time with, I said, other kindred spirits. And it helps me get out of myself because if I spend too much time alone or kind of like, in my own head with that committee in my head, I get really self-obsessed and I just start ruminating on things that are wrong really quickly. And so spending time with others gets me out of self and lets me focus on the connections that we're having and them and how they're doing. And I do that a lot. So that's been helpful and it feeds my soul, it nourishes my soul. The other thing I'm working on is trying to be versus do. I'm a doer. I'm a perfectionist, and I can, do 10 assignments perfectly. But does it mean I absorb the material? Not always, because I'm just too busy doing and not actually feeling it and seeing it. So
We're gonna talk
that's
about that tonight.
another thing. And the other thing I've been doing is talking to myself with love, care, and concern and kindness, and also hugging myself, which is a new practice. To even show myself any kind of physical affection is a big deal.
Hugging ourselves is awesome.
Hug yourself.
Everybody's hugging themselves. Christelle,
That's really
you
good.
started a trend.
That doesn't do it for
Feel
me.
good.
Oh no. Do you guys? Oh no.
You breathe when you do it.
Feels really good.
And you talk. You say, I love you. And you look in the mirror at the same time.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry we interrupted you because we were too busy hugging ourselves.
I know, that's great. So that's been, and I do that regardless of how sometimes I don't always feel it, but I still do it. And what I've been noticing is that I'm accepting it. My body's liking it. And even if like today, I was in a lot of anxiety, but I still did that, and I still came from a place of love and not fear, which I was very grateful for. Because sometimes in the past, when I've been in such a 911 state of anxiety, I lose my ability to get out of that and transform it and reshape it. And if there's time, I also had another interesting experience at the grocery store. Like, here.
Sure, we have a couple minutes before we start our new exercise. Go for it.
It was funny because, I don't know if anyone else has had this experience, but, Catherine, you know the kind of strict diet I'm on right now. And so I was in the grocery store, and I think one of my all-time favorite foods is peppermint ice cream. and it's a holiday season type food. It's only available on the holidays. So, and I don't like, and that's only the good thing about that is that I don't like chunks of candy. So I don't really like a lot of different peppermint ice creams. But there was this new one that I saw. I don't even go down the ice cream aisle anymore because it's too triggering.
Yeah.
So, but they have the cases, at the end of the aisle. So you kind of have to go buy them.
Right, the end caps.
Yeah, right? So there was this gelato that was white, and it caught my attention, and it was peppermint. And I thought, oh dear. So, but I kept on walking, but I felt deprived. And I came home, I thought, that's so interesting. Why am I feeling deprived? And I'm thinking, well, I'm feeling deprived because I can't have what I want. And then what is that really going to give me? Well, it's going to give me some comfort. But is that really but am I wanting physical comfort? What kind of comfort am I really wanting? And then I was also feeling and then it was funny enough, the person in front of me had a bunch of ice cream in their cart.
Total
So I was
deprived.
like, oh, that looks ice cream, someone else is buying. And then then I really thought about it, and I thought, okay, let me look at the people that eat that kind of way. Eat ice cream, eat, like you were saying, the Taco Bell, the fast food. And I might be envious of the fact that they can eat that and maybe get away with it. But do they really have what I want in life? Like, now look at the whole picture. Do they really have the life I want? Do they have the soul that I want? Do they have the heart that I want? Do they have, is their being at peace? Are they happy? Are they joyous? Are they free? They have what I want. And most of the time, if I can think about people I know that can eat whatever they want, they don't have what I want in every other area, just that one area.
Yeah.
And that really helps reframe it for me and let that go. And then I didn't feel so envious or jealous, if that makes sense.
Oh, that's beautiful. Exactly. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
and I was able to go to the farmer's market and get my dealer's raw ingredients there, which actually was a way of feeding my soul. It's like, okay, let me give myself a treat. I'm going to go to the farmer's market and buy the freshest vegetables possible from our dealer's draw. And that's how I'm going to reward myself.
Isn't that a lot more, that's a lot more rewarding than a carton of peppermint ice cream. And
Yes.
when we get in the habit of that, it just all integrates. So really beautiful. So if you guys want to pass me your plates, because we're going to start an exercise.
Clear it. Yeah, we'll bring it.
Oh, great, perfect. You just want to stick them in the sink or just put them right there.
Okay.
Yeah, just so we have places to write. So I really want to have you honor yourself for just showing up. Like I said, 90% of this is all about showing up, and it comes, and you get it. And we talked a little bit about the integration week and why that's your sweet spot. Every 3 weeks, you get an opportunity to look back at what you haven't done, at how you could do something a little deeper, to really go deeper, and really take care of the one and only amazing you. Because you guys are amazing. And I just want to honor you because I'm just so thrilled to be able to do this. And I want to tell you, I'm not perfect. So my husband and I did a 32-mile bike ride for Habitat for Humanity this weekend on our tandem. It was fun, but they didn't have any good food at the rest stops. And I felt my blood sugar dipping. And so I thought maybe I could just have some, they had M&Ms, lots of them, but not peanut, not even the protein with the sugar. They had plain M&Ms. I thought, well, I could eat a few of those. And I had a couple, and I just didn't feel good. No, it doesn't even taste good. It's not like the good chocolate that we eat. Like, really, really honoring yourself. And I thought, wow. And the funny thing is, too, we have a big bag of leftover Halloween candy, and I'm not even tempted to eat it. And that's what's going to happen to all of you if it's not happening already. I used to give Halloween candy to my clients. Uh-oh. You know
The
what?
microwave's still on.
Is it? No.
I mean, the lights.
It's this. There.
There it
That was
is.
fast. Okay. Well, it's all better.
Is it
So-
weird I didn't cook much about that coming out of the bathroom. Like, why is it so dark?
I know.
It didn't seem weird.
How funny. So it's back. I don't know what tripped it, but little technical difficulties. So I used to go to my clients and I would put all the candy in the back of my car because I didn't want to eat it while I was driving. And I would actually pull over on the side because I had this craving, and I would eat the food. And that bag's probably it's been up there since Halloween. And I haven't even thought about it. It's crappy Halloween candy. So that's what happens.
Yeah, that would happen in my house. I gave out toys this year.
Good for you. I was going to,
It's just
and then
like,
I didn't have time to order.
want it in the
Yeah,
house.
I don't even want it in the house.
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
But that's what happens to you. This is a new conversation. You're having a new conversation, not with everyone in the group, but with yourself. Is it worth eating that crap, or is it worth really making yourself healthy, well, and completing your why? So you prompted me, Kristen. It was so great. And you know, it's about filling ourselves first. And yes, there's a lot of information out there about we can eat more greens, fill up on the greens, and then we can eat the food. But the chances are, if you still want that whatever, that dessert or that extra piece of food that's on the plate, even though it's healthy, you're going to eat it unless you feel really good about the one and only you. That's why I said, no, I'm not going to text this back to you. I want to make this a conversation. So it's also about keeping in connection with the group energy. I love it when you guys really text each other, talk about our successes. I'd love to see you doing more on the group meeting because keep the group energy going.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. And what's funny is I coach some people individually. You guys are doing better. You're doing better. So it's something about the group energy that keeps us going. I'm going to be looking at my notes because this is new curriculum that I'm introducing tonight. So if I'm looking down at my notes a lot, you'll know why. And whenever we really want to either overeat, undereat, or just not eat, or if you're on a diet, it's all about control. It's wanting to control the show, not let go. But tonight I'm going to teach you how to dive into your intuition. You have an inner guide. And the more you listen to your inner guide instead of everything around you, you know, that's depending, once you get your hormones balanced, once you don't have candida, you know, those things can create more cravings. But the truth is, listening to your inner guide is what's really going to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And one of you said it perfectly. I think it was Christelle. You know, we're so busy doing that we never stop and listen to ourselves. But there's more to being, I think, because it's about feeling. The reason why we want to be so in control is so we don't feel those crappy feelings we don't want to feel. The reason why we keep going is because we don't want to feel those feelings. The truth is, when we feel, we heal. You know, we think it's so scary. Remember the Fears to Love exercise. I'm not sure if both of you did it, but I know Marjorie's done it. When we sit with our fears, we create love. We can clear them, heal them, and create love. So you feel better about yourself. When you want to control everything, you naturally cut yourself off from being naturally guided. I'll say this again because it's really big. When you want to control everything, you naturally cut yourself off from being guided, from listening to your inner guidance. That little voice in your head, the real voice that says you're beautiful, you're special, you're amazing, and you will do so much better making the right choice with food and with life. But if we're not listening and we're just doing, holding on, having control of everything, we can't listen. So, we're cutting off our connection to our inner guidance. And usually it's because we have old wounds. Usually it's because of childhood crap that we never ever want to face again. I know that's what it is for me. Believe me, I have such a better life than I had when I was a little girl. And all those things that happened, I don't want to feel that way anymore. And so I shut down. But when you shut down, you cut off that inner guidance. And that's what the inner guidance is going to help you so you're not stuck, right?
Mhm.
I see you all shaking your heads. How about you on the phone? Do you agree with this?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. So, you know, I believe in programs. I believe in eating programs.
So I have a question. I'm
Uh-huh.
still stuck on that.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you can't really get your intuition until you face all of your feelings that you don't want to feel.
So I'm not saying you can't.
Or, okay.
Yeah.
It's a pathway.
It's a
The more you feel
pathway.
your feelings, the more you'll have intuition and you'll listen.
I love the way you said
Yeah.
that. The more you feel
Okay.
your feelings, the more you have intuition, you'll listen. Because when you can't feel those feelings, good or bad,
Yeah.
you just want to
I
hold
see.
on
Mhm.
and keep doing what you're doing and
Yeah.
block out those feelings.
Right.
And you know, one more thing to do. I know, you
Uh-huh.
know, we all have to-do lists that are thousands of miles long, but it's about
Mhm.
sitting with it. And I know that when I sit and feel, or if I'm feeling really overwhelmed and I go meditate, I come out and I get things done like that. But if I wouldn't have meditated and slowed down and listened, then that would have been drudgery. It's just
A lot of times when it has gotten so overwhelming that you don't know how to deal with it and you just numb out.
you totally numb out.
Yeah.
And now that I've experienced feeling, I would rather feel so I can do something about it versus numbing out.
I love this. When you feel, you can actually take authentic action.
Right.
When you numb out, you're in procrastination. You're stuck.
Yeah.
And you don't move forward with your life. It's so much easier to eat that donut or that bag of chips or peppermint ice cream. And the funny thing is that what I find is when we go back to things like the peppermint ice cream, they don't really taste that good.
No.
You're right.
It was our
I haven't
taste
gotten
buds
there
have
yet.
changed,
No,
right?
not yet.
So I believe in abstinence. I'm an alcoholic. All of you know that. And I just can't drink alcohol. But I think my creator, my higher power, really got me where I am because it's so much better for me not to be putting the poison into my body. So I do believe in programs and I do believe in eating programs, but it's more about listening to your intuition. You know, just like you said, I'm at a 7.
Yeah.
Carol said, I'm at a 7, I'm full, I'm going to push that away.
Yeah.
I know I can have more later, and you guys can take some of this home. And it's not about eating all the right things. It is most of the time, but it's about listening to yourself. And you did it tonight, so
Yeah.
congratulations. So I'm really grateful for all the detours in my life. You know, most of you know this, I went to jail. I got lots of DUIs, but look where it got me. We have to be grateful. And all of your whys, I know Marjorie, you said, you know, I got myself to where I am, I don't feel good in my body, and you said I haven't been feeling good. We have to be grateful for those things because if we hadn't gotten there, we wouldn't have been able to wake up. It's about creating our soul, getting our soul to actually wake up, right? So, you know, it's about looking at the old behaviors around food. My old behavior was get her done, get her done, get her done. So I was like a really fast eater. I don't have time. I don't have time to eat.
Get her
I'm just gonna
done.
eat this fast because I have projects to do. And I think I've always been like that, but especially when my husband died. Because when my husband died, I was the sole provider.
Yeah.
And so I had to get everything done. So I would eat standing up all the time, and it really created a lot of havoc. So I really want you to look at what your eating behaviors are based on what your past was like, your childhood. Take a
Yeah.
deep breath in and kind of just look at your eating behaviors. Yeah. So whatever your relationship with food is direct relationship with your relationship with the world. Your eating behavior is in direct connection with how much joy you'll experience, with how much fun you'll have in your life. Think of this. If you sit and you eat mindfully and you savor that food, you really chew, and you taste the flavors, think if you could take that out into the world and start savoring life. It's direct connection. The degree that you eat mindfully and really love what you're eating, know that it's nourishing you, and listening to your inner guidance is in direct connection with what happens in your life. I love all the nods. You guys are nodding.
That
Yes,
makes
yes,
sense.
yes, yes. So,
Really quick, something that I have found to be helpful for me.
Okay.
The mindfulness call out was a helpful one for me this week, as I was like, I'm overeating because it's healthy
Yeah.
and it tastes good.
right?
So something that's been fun for me, because I've been very good about not drinking the last little
Good
bit
job.
here, yay, because I like my wine.
Yes.
So I've been doing tea pairings with my different meals. So I've like been taking all the different teas we've been having here and making my own blends and everything. And so I've had so much fun enjoying new different blends of tea with my meals. And I've taken a habit too lately, just because I'm not great at feeling that pause when I'm hungry, but I'm kind of stopped myself halfway through. I like literally put a paper towel over my
That's
plate
great.
because I have to have
Yeah.
something physical to stop me
Barrier.
right now. A barrier to entry. Literally have to lift it. But I've found it very satisfying to then like finish my cup of tea and just having like been drinking them out of mason jars, just trying to make it fun. And just like after I've finished off like 16 ounces of tea, then typically I don't want to go back and eat the meal because I'm genuinely satisfied. And if I take the mindset of saying I can finish it later, and oftentimes I might go back 2 hours later and finish like the lunch that I had made or whatever, but it doesn't have to be eaten all in one quick standing up.
That's beautiful.
Shovel.
Wow, do you know how huge that is?
Yeah, it's big for me
Yeah,
because I was
yeah.
fast, just
Yeah.
get her done.
Plus not
because-
drinking the wine, so the tea. I've used that
Yeah.
trick a little.
Yeah.
You know.
Tea pairings instead of wine
No,
pairings.
it's been fun.
What's your
Uh-huh.
favorite?
It's lovely.
pairing?
So one of the ones, and we did it a few weeks ago, was the spearmint and the cup of calm.
Okay.
That together is really lovely.
Oh.
I'd have to. It's almost always with some kind of peppermint or mint. I've been drinking a lot of turmeric tea, which I have found to be really. It's a little bit more savory.
Yes.
And then a lot of the dandelion roots and the other ones, I always will add a bag of peppermint to that. I prefer most of my tea iced, though. I have found.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me too. I don't like the hot teas.
Except for calm. Like something like chamomile, I really like.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is so great.
So that's been a fun.
Big
It's
kudos.
been
No,
fun.
no honey or stevia. or anything?
I'm not a
Vanilla
sweet
hot.
person when it comes to
However you
that.
like it
Okay.
works. It doesn't really matter. It just matters. The teas are so healing. Getting them in
Yeah.
your body. Getting them in your body.
Anyway.
So we talked about whenever the way you eat is a direct connection with the way you live your life. And I have had people bunk this, but when you really look at it, once you start eating differently, your life gets better. And I know, Debbie, you eat really slow, but the question is, I was thinking about this, are you savoring your food? Really, really, loving your food up while you're eating slowly. There's a big difference.
Oh, let me eat that.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Who's flat ass? No. Yeah. Really savoring it, loving the food. So I want you to think about what your relationship was with food in your home. In my home, my mom was a really bad cook, okay? And it wasn't that good. You just kind of ate it. And when I was 11, they got a divorce. So we moved into this cockroach-infested house, little apartment from this beautiful home up on a hill that we went bankrupt. So there was all these things in my head, and food just became a chore. And that's, and you know, it wasn't anything special unless I put on the list for my mom that I wanted Oreos, and she would buy whatever I put on the list. So, and our one treat going to Marie Callender's on Friday night. So I got to think that food wasn't that special. So I want you to write a little bit about what life was like in your home. And the girls on the phone, do you have pen and paper? Yeah, write a little paragraph about what your connection with food was like. Or did your parents, like, I worked with a client this week. Her parents used food as a reward. If she didn't get good grades, she didn't get dinner. That was extreme.
What if I can't remember?
Fake it. Put something down.
Okay.
Was it joyful at the dinner table? Were people eating off your plate? Did you feel like you had to eat fast because otherwise you wouldn't get it enough? Were there a lot of kids? Were you poor? And so there wasn't much, you know, food was like this thing that was grandiose because it was special. Was the food crappy? Did you eat nutritious vegetables? What was it like? Just write that down. And then after you've got that, think about what feeling you might be avoiding when you want to overeat, when you want to control your eating, when you cheat. Is there a feeling underneath that that you might be avoiding? Diets can be an addiction and ways to control. And I don't believe, like I said, I believe in programs, but I believe if they're not married with your inner guidance, or for those of you that are spiritual, if they're not married with a higher power, an inner connection, they don't work. You have to have that inner guidance. And when we're in any kind of addictive pattern, like fear, judgment, we're not in alignment. We feel separate with that inner guidance, and that's what messes us up. That's why we overeat. That's why we control. Would you all agree?
Can you say that again?
So when we're not in alignment with not just with that inner connection, and when we feel out of control, then that's when we overeat.
Yeah.
But when we're in alignment with our spirits and our souls, that's when the magic happens.
Yeah.
And if you can savor the food you're eating and be in that alignment, we'll talk more next week about this. We were going to do a joy exercise if we had enough time, but we'll talk about what brings you more joy, what brings you more happiness, what brings you that alignment. So think of a time when you were in bliss, total bliss. I know yoga does it for me. Maybe church. Time when you were in total alignment and bliss in your life. And maybe it was a long time ago. Maybe you haven't been there. I remember when my husband was so sick and we had those digital pagers. They were brand new. It was 30 years ago. And I was a pager rep. And this guy sent me love notes on my pager. The Harlequin romance noodles. And I can remember walking through Costco and having this romance novel, and I remember what I was wearing. I was wearing this cute yellow dress, and I was thin, and yeah, it just, well, when you're in bliss, you remember those things. You also remember crappy
I
things.
haven't been in bliss.
So I want you to write down a time when you were totally in bliss. You know, happiness is a choice, and we can choose happiness every single day. So we're going to do a quick meditation on what it was like and the feeling you're trying to avoid. What was that? That was scary.
About to get in my coat.
I know.
Definitely a man in this house.
Like how you get, it must have been the TV.
Oh.
Really recognize that inner voice Instead of taking, it's all about getting back on track, because we all go out. It's about getting back on track in 2 minutes instead of 2 months. So I'm gonna put on some music, and I just want you to close your eyes, and we're gonna sit up straight and tall. And think about a time, let's turn this down. Think about a time when you were in total bliss. Total bliss. And if you can't think of it, pretend. Think it. Think of all the love in your heart. Really sit with it. Breathe into it. And breathe. Take your breath and move it from the top of your head down to the bottom of your feet. Listen, tune in, and let your thoughts be real. Now take your thumb and your ring finger and bring them together on both hands and bring them facing up. This is just to connect yourself with your inner self. And just put them on your lap so it's comfortable. Roll your eyes up, keeping your eyes closed. And pretend like you're in your highest consciousness and connect. Just sit there. Feel the bliss in your heart. Breathe in. We're going to be here for a few more minutes, so just enjoy the bliss and ask yourself, what could the feeling be that I'm trying to cover up? Sit with it. What could the feeling be that I'm avoiding? What could the feeling be that's keeping me stuck? How can I bring more joy into my life? Breathe into it. Send yourself love. Connect with your higher power or your inner self, that inner guide inside of you. And ask, what is it that I need to know? We're going to stay here for a couple more minutes. I won't keep you here too long. If that monkey mind is running through your head with your laundry list of things to do, breathe into it and let it go. Take a big deep breath in and blow it out your mouth. Relax your body. Get grounded and centered. What is it that's keeping you in the fear? What is it? What's the feeling you just want to avoid that's keeping you in control? Maybe, what's the protection you're giving yourself by keeping yourself stuck? Not feeling good, feeling overweight, feeling underweight. What is it? What is it that prevents you from giving you the self-care that you deserve? What's the feeling? We've talked a lot about good feelings. Let's breathe in and look at the crappy feelings that you don't want to face. Breathe into it. You have about 30 more seconds. You're doing great. Breathe into that. Take a nice deep breath in and let it go. And when you're ready, open your eyes, come back into the room. Beautiful, ladies. Now I want you to take your pen and your paper and just free write with whatever came up for you. And if nothing came up for you, just write, nothing came up for me and I don't understand this. I really want to get connected with my inner guidance. What is it that I need to keep doing? And keep writing on that. What came up for you? Keep writing. What's coming up for you now? If nothing's coming up, right? Nothing's coming up. I really want to be connected to my inner guidance. What is it that I need to know? Beautiful. About 30 more seconds, knowing that you can finish this up whenever you're ready. Great job. So I'm going to stop the music. Great job, ladies. I saw you writing a lot. Does anyone want to talk about what came up for you? Maybe someone on the phone?
I can. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what came up for me was pain. That's what's keeping me stuck. Fear of grief and losing my sister. Like, what does it really mean if I really, really accept that she's gone? Because I don't really, in my heart, feel like she's really dead. Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense.
And then what was interesting is that what came up when you were asking so many questions, I got confused, but I forgot which one you asked that I responded that came to me. But you had said something like, "What is this telling you?" or "What is your?" I forget what it was. Or basically was like the second question you asked. What came to me was, "You can heal." And then when you asked, what is? I think then you asked like, "What is keeping you stuck?" Then what came to me was feeling undeserving. So it's interesting the dichotomy of that, right? It was kind of like, but if there was hope in that message, okay, so this is what's keeping me stuck. Kind of the twofold thing, the fear of really feeling the grief and then feeling undeserving on top of that. But then the hope message is, you can heal.
Beautiful. Great job. So we have a couple more minutes. Does anyone else want to share if something came up?
Was it supposed to be like a memory of bliss? Is that what we were working on still?
You could do it, or the feeling.
The feeling.
The feeling that you're avoiding by wanting to eat that extra food, by not connecting with the inner guidance.
Okay, I did the other
Okay,
thing.
but you can have bliss.
Okay.
Bliss is good too. Was it great? Were you able to connect with that bliss?
Yeah,
So the bliss is a great place to go when you're feeling like overeating.
yeah.
Remembering that feeling. Yeah, nice. Anything for Debbie or Carol?
Let's see. So the bliss was nice. I had a little trouble trying to find it actually, but I did find 3 examples I kind of hung on to.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
I think it's, for me, it's all about, you know, that when I'm not good enough in a variety of different ways. I think that's what it all boils down to when you dig through all those layers. And then when I eat, or especially when I overeat, I can very easily focus on, you know, I overate, I'm heavy. I mean, all of that energy and fear goes into, you know, blaming myself for being heavy or overeating or not following the program, and I don't have to face all the real problems. Which
Right.
is the
Yeah.
I'm not good enough. So I just gotta kind of trust. So what came to me is trust. Trust that the
Beautiful.
process will work and you can shed those layers and see what happens, you know.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave you with something that I'd like you all to try on this week. I like to do it in my bed, first thing before I get up and before I go to bed at night. I take one hand and I place it between my breasts. One hand between my breasts for all of you, even on the phone that can't see this. Take the opposite hand and place it 2 inches below your belly button. This breast point is the sea of energy. I'm sorry, that's not right. Sea of tranquility. It's channel vessel 17 in acupressure, right between your breasts. And it helps to calm you down. We use it a lot in yoga. It's the namaste point. And under your belly button is the sea of energy. So when you connect these 2 points, you have energized tranquility. I like to sit with this, maybe with some music for 5 minutes, and ask, what is it that I need to know? And I also like to, last week we did, or the week before, we did our vision. So I like to stay in my vision and my meditation and ask at the same time, what is it that I need to know? And start connecting with your inner voice. And I'm going to send you some questions that I'd like you to answer this week. There's only a few, but that's your play work for this week.
Okay.
So how was this for you?
That's good.
Always helpful.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
What are your takeaways? Anything that, like, that one was a great one, or that I didn't know about that, I'm gonna really be able to practice this?
I like the when we feel, we heal.
I
think that's-
you and
Yeah, I know, we're in sync tonight. That's empowering and scary, and if that's part of, I don't like feeling very much. I'm always like trying to be peppy and happy so I don't have to feel.
I'm right with you.
Yeah.
And it's not fun to feel.
Yeah.
And it's out of your
I don't
comfort
like
zone.
it,
It's
no.
not fun. And the more we feel, we get rid of the crappy feelings. They go away, honest.
Yeah.
And we come back to the healing. Were you with us when we did Fears to Love?
I don't
Okay.
think so.
You'll get to do
Okay,
it on the.
okay.
Carol, you were with us when we did Fears to Love,
Yeah,
right?
I was, and you know, I
You do it
remember
again.
the feeling of doing it, but I
Uh-huh.
don't remember the exercise or how to do
Yeah,
it.
so
But I
that's
got
why
it in my notebook.
we
So I actually wrote down to look at
okay, perfect. And
Yeah.
we can do it over, and
Yeah.
it's super powerful. It's one of my favorites. It's actually one I do all the time. But let me give you a suggestion. When you feel the crappy feelings, you hold that spot where you breathe into your body, you hold it for 90 seconds, and you see it like a vortex, spinning, spinning, spinning. And you stay with it, because usually we bolt.
Yeah.
That's why we dive into the food, because we want the tendency to bolt.
Yeah.
We want to get out of those feelings as quick and as fast as we can. So when we stay with it, you'll see it dissipate. And your life gets better. It's pretty interesting.
Or dive
Yeah.
into food, or dive into being snippety, or whatever.
Whatever it is, or
Whatever the-
judgment,
yeah.
or whatever. Or, yeah. In judgment, we get outside of ourselves, so we don't have to look at ourselves.
Yeah.
Great
I have a
job,
question.
ladies. Uh-huh.
My favorite cookie is Oreo.
Okay.
Is there any healthy one out there?
But you have to make it. I have a recipe.
Yeah. I
That
do
is
that.
my favorite.
It's really good, but you can make it healthy. Let me put that on my list
Yeah.
to recap. Because I
Yeah,
have,
how
I
do
can
you
eat
make
a whole row of them.
I can do healthy Oreos and healthy
Yeah.
peppermint ice cream.
Oh.
Sounds good. Anyone on the phone want to add anything?
That's my weakness. And they sell it year round in Livermore.
Oh, maybe they already
Oh,
left.
yeah.
Debbie,
And
Uh-huh.
I had it this week.
Debbie's on the phone. So,
I was just gonna say I can relate.
Awesome. No, but didn't you relate to the Oreos?
Oreo, oh gosh.
We just need to get you guys the ingredient list for the Oreos.
I could eat a
Tell you,
whole
I'll break it down and all the crap in it.
Oh, I
know.
What it does.
I know.
That's when I don't want
I
to
know. I just.
Oh, I know. So one of my take homes is because of the pepper and ice cream talk that
Uh-huh.
I'm now thinking that sugar steals my energy.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Sugar
going to think
steals my
that
energy.
Oreo cookie is not going in here because I'm not letting it steal my energy.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it still your joy.
Yeah.
Do you think about
Yeah.
how we get tired
Yeah, it
after?
stirs your joy.
Oh,
Yes.
I never have.
Yeah.
Never when you eat sugar?
Not after an Oreo. I could eat 2 Oreo cookies in it.
Well, 2, but what if you ate the whole package?
I'm not gonna eat the whole package.
Yeah, don't eat them
And I
anymore.
never have.
Don't eat them anymore.
Okay.
It's true. If you
Yeah.
really limit yourself to 2, I would say it
Yeah.
would not.
It wouldn't
steal.
kill you.
But she don't want me to have it.
But the
I
sugar,
won't
think
have
of the insulin resistance. It
Yeah.
spikes and
Yeah.
crashes.
Okay.
So you're spiking and you don't even know it.
Yeah, you're right.
That just maybe
Uh-huh.
now with your good eating program, if you ate an Oreo, you feel different. I
I ate
guarantee
so
it.
good today. I'm so proud
So
of
awesome.
me.
I'm so proud of
I
you.
had
And we
broth
had
for
a lovely
breakfast.
dinner.
Yes. So I love you guys. Great job tonight.
Yes.
Thank
Really,
you.
really great.
Right.
And we'll see you next week.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Love you on the
Thank
phone
you.
too. Bye, ladies.